Top 10 Outstanding Facts About Bruce Lee. Number 1. Young Bruce Lee was dressed as a girl for most of his childhood. When he and his family returned to Hong Kong in 1941, he was called Sai Fan, which meant, small phoenix, a feminine name. Bruce had an older brother who died as a baby. The Chinese blamed this on evil spirits or demons who take the lives of male babies to destroy the family's name. So they dressed Bruce in little girl's clothing and called him Sai Fan. For most of his young childhood the Lee family dressed the young Bruce in female clothing, told strangers he was a girl and even sent to an all-girls school. Although Lee's family was trying to protect him by pretending he was a girl, it was very difficult for him to grow up as a young man disguised as a girl. Number 2. Bruce Lee's film career started early. Bruce Lee was appearing in movies long before becoming a martial arts star. The future star appeared in his first film at the age of 3 months, when he served as the stand-in for an American baby in Golden Gate Girl, 1941. In the early 1940s, the Lees moved back to Hong Kong, then occupied by the Japanese. When he was 6 he was featured in another movie called The Beginning of a Boy, shot in Hong Kong. In 1950s The Kid, a pre-teen Bruce Lee played the role of Kid Chung, a streetwise orphan and wry troublemaker, based on a comic strip from the time. Starring opposite Lee, playing a kindly factory owner was his father Lee Hoi Chuan, who also happened to be a famous opera singer. According to Lee's biographer Matthew Polly, the movie was a big enough success in China to earn sequel consideration. Number 3. Bruce Lee was part Dutch. Bruce's father, Lee Hoi Chuan, was Cantonese, and his mother, Grace Ho, was of Eurasian ancestry. His family ancestry was more diverse. His great-grandfather, Moses Hartog Bosman, was a Dutch Jewish businessman from Rotterdam who was once the Dutch consul to Hong Kong. There is evidence that this great-grandfather, Moses Hartog Bosman, came from a Dutch Jewish family of German descent. Bosman was born in Rotterdam in 1839 to teenage parents Hartog Moses Bosman and Anna de Vries. His father was a kosher Jewish butcher. When he was a teenager, Bosman joined the Dutch East Asia Company, ending up in Hong Kong. He bought a Chinese concubine named Zi Tai and had 6 children with her. All grew up to become extremely wealthy, the richest in Hong Kong, Polly said. One of their sons, Ho Kam Tong, had a wife, 13 concubines and a British mistress. With his mistress, he had his 30th child, a daughter, Grace Ho, who became Bruce Lee's mother. Because of this, Bruce Lee had some Jewish and Dutch heritage on his family tree. Number 4. Bruce Lee was a good cha-cha dancer. To flex his kung fu moves, Lee took classes in cha-cha dancing, which helped him practice his footwork and balance. Long before he was known for breakneck fight choreography, Bruce Lee's physical skills were focused on the dance floor. More specifically, the cha-cha. The dance trend made its way from Cuba through the Philippines and soon landed in China. Once the cha-cha settled into the Hong Kong social scene, it didn't take long for youth dance competitions to spring up. In fact, in 1958 he had participated in a dance competition and won the Hong Kong Cha-Cha Championship trophy. Foreshadowing his later dedication to martial arts, Lee would keep crib notes of all 108 different cha-cha steps in his wallet so that he could obsessively memorize them. Number 5. Bruce Lee was deemed physically unfit for the U.S. Army. Another one of the most interesting facts about Bruce Lee is that he was an American citizen. Since he was born in a Chinese hospital in San Francisco, he was able to emigrate back to the United States right before he turned 18 to legally claim his American citizenship. While he may have walked around with body fat in the single digits and could do push-ups using only 2 fingers, Lee still managed to fail a military physical for the U.S. Draft Board back in 1963. Despite being an adherent to physical fitness all his adult life, it was an undescended testicle that kept him from fighting for Uncle Sam in Vietnam. Number 6. His son became a martial artist too. Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, ended up becoming a famous martial artist as well. He trained under his father in the special art of Jeet Kune Do and was truly gifted at it. Brandon also followed in his father's footsteps and became a talented actor. Unfortunately, Brandon passed away at a young age as well. While Brandon filmed his breakout role in The Crow, he was killed when a prop gun was shot with improperly deactivated bullets. Brandon Lee, actor, martial artist and the son of late martial arts legend Bruce Lee, died in a freak incident similar to the Rust one in 1993. The gun was meant to be filled with blank rounds, but autopsy revealed a real bullet that entered his body near his spine. It was later determined that the gun used had earlier fired a round that caused a cartridge to become lodged in the barrel. When blank rounds were later fired, the cartridge was dislodged and released. Number 7. Bruce Lee kicked too fast for cameras. Bruce Lee moved so fast that it actually created complications for the Green Hornet. For the most part, Bruce Lee's speed was a big part of what made his film performances so entertaining. However, it apparently came with its fair share of problems, particularly during the filming of the Green Hornet. Lee had a lot of confidence in how his kung fu would look on screen when he was shooting his scenes, but was disappointed when he saw the first footage. As a result, Lee had to significantly slow down his movements so that his kung fu would look better on TV. Also, when he filmed Enter the Dragon, the filmmakers said he had to redo scenes because his kicks were too fast. The speedy kicks were so quick that they made the shot look fake, so directors had to reshoot the scene in slow motion at 34. Number 8. Bruce Lee created his own style of martial arts. In the 1960s, Bruce Lee created his own style of kung fu called Jeet Kune Do (JKD), or the way of the intercepting fist, and there's a significant reason why he established his own style. Jeet Kune Do is distinctly different from other forms of kung fu. Lee opened martial arts schools and taught his ideas to a number of students willing to learn, including Hollywood stars like Steve McQueen and James Coburn. His ideas on martial arts and life have not only influenced regular people and athletes alike, but those ideas were also turned into a brand new martial art. In fact, his brand new martial art may actually be the original mixed martial art. JKD teaches people to be unpredictable, and this meant taking what worked from other martial arts and adding it into JKD's arsenal. Number 9. Bruce Lee charged $2,500 per hour for training. As Bruce Lee worked to become a big screen heavyweight, he made a living as a martial arts trainer to the stars. Bruce charged hundreds of dollars for private lessons. Would you pay someone $275 for an hour of martial arts training? What if that teacher was Bruce Lee? Back in the 1960s, Bruce Lee charged a whopping $275 per hour to give people private lessons. Based on inflation, the amount of $275 in the 1960s would be the equivalent of $2,500 in 2020. It wasn't surprising that there were many people who were more than happy to pay top dollar for a martial arts class with him. Among Lee's students were Steve McQueen, James Coburn, James Garner, Roman Polanski, and Sharon Tate. McQueen and Coburn grew so enamored with Lee over the years that they remained close friends until his death in 1973, with both men serving as pallbearers at Lee's funeral alongside Chuck Norris. Number 10. Bruce Lee's cause of death was controversial. Bruce Lee's death at the age of 32 on July 20, 1973, the official cause of death was swelling of the brain caused by an allergic reaction to a headache medication, although some considered the circumstances of his death mysterious. When Bruce Lee awoke on the morning of July 20, 1973, he was an active, healthy man. He spent the day meeting with producers about his next film, then headed to a friend's house for an afternoon visit. By nightfall, the greatest martial artist in a generation lay dead on a mattress on the floor, providing fodder for conspiracies. Lee's friend Chuck Norris claimed that there had been an interaction with muscle relaxants that Lee was taking, and that was how Bruce Lee died. Norris's words sparked a debate about what else Lee was taking. Bruce Lee is a hero because he introduced the ancient Chinese martial arts of Kung Fu to America. He not only introduced martial arts but made and taught his own version called Jeet Kune Do, and he inspired people to never back down. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.